But like I said, I'm sympathetic to the idea, I guess, that you should go after somebody. Now, I get also that there's not really a lot of options. And the four options that get thrown out are four guys that are arguably, or not arguably, they are past their prime. Three of them shouldn't even be in the league, quite frankly. The one exception is DeMarcus Cousins because of what DeMarcus Cousins did with the Nuggets last season. And this was probably more a story last week than it is now, and there's not really anything that's happened on it since. But we just missed it when we did our podcast last week. What are your thoughts on a potential DeMarcus Cousins Sacramento Kings reunion? Do you think it works? Do you think it's possible? I mean, obviously it feels like it's possible, but what are your thoughts?
So I'm going to preface this with saying I did not like DeMarcus Cousins in Sacramento. I just thought he was a crybaby, wasn't good for the culture. I recognized his talent, but I just didn't like the guy really, and I was happy when he got traded. But like with the hole at the 5 right now, or for the backup 5, I guess. I mean, Cousins isn't a bad option. I mean, Cousins just seems like, like a 60% off, like Sabonis in a way.
Yeah.
Like they have good post moves. Like Cousins, you can run
Kind of
the offense
handle.
through Cousins. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So they kind of, it'd be easy to plug in Cousins into Sabonis's role and like have him do that if you even want to run the bench like that, right? Because Malik Monk is kind of the leader of the bench, and maybe you want to run the offense through him, but you can potentially plug in Cousins into Sabonis's role and it to be be done more effective than I guess Holmes or Metu. So I think it is intriguing, and of course it's a storyline because everyone loved Cousins in Sacramento, except me, I guess. And he has a history here, obviously, but I'm open to the idea. I don't know if it's just I don't know if anything will come from it. It's obviously making headlines, or it was making headlines because of Cousins back to Sac is a headline in itself. So, but I'm not opposed to it if if Metu's our best option at the backup 5. And you made a good point. Like maybe they can develop Mike Brown can develop Metu into a better defensive 5. But until we see that happen, Cousins isn't a bad option. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I would agree 100%, it's like he would give you that option to just be kind of a cheap version carbon copy backup to Sabonis. And I think he would help. I think the Kings played like 3 games against the Nuggets between like February and March last year, like within a span of a few weeks. And I remember watching those games, listening to the Denver commentators. And all I could talk about was like how great Boogie was for the second unit's energy and just like kind of connecting everybody there. And it's like maybe that's obviously not needed because the second unit looks really good, basically with Monk leading the charge, as you've been saying. But it can't be discredited. It couldn't hurt to have another, body in there that is a little bit more effective. And for all the things that he can do, they're pretty decent. Obviously, he's nowhere close to being great. And I still think there would be moments where maybe you want to see Metu out there, which sounds weird to say, but it would fit. But I just don't know that it would happen, just because I feel like one of the people that is kind of endurably bound to the organization and that he owns it, that Cousins didn't really get along with, and I don't think anything's better on that front. Would be Vivek Ranadive. Now, if Vivek Ranadive is completely out of kind of basketball decisions as it is, or as it were, then maybe that doesn't matter. But I just can't help but think that Vivek's like, no, fuck that guy. Like no, forget it. I don't know. That's kind of pure conjecture at that point, but it's just like, I think for that reason, it's like, no, I don't know. And I don't know. We're kind of getting to a point where it's like if we're at next week and he's not here, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, again, unless Metu's not getting better, um, like I feel like, don't you think that would have kind of happened already?
Yeah, you would think so, right? I mean, the dude would sign a vet min, right? So it's not like money's an issue. And you can just drop Maneke or Akpala down to the G League, which it seems like Maneke's kind of flip flopping between the G League and the NBA. Whatever's up with that, I don't know. I just thought about that, but you know, like you said, like if it was gonna happen, it would happen, right? Like, what's the holdup at this point? But the only reason this is a headline on top of it, it wasn't like McNair or there was rumors the Kings were interested in another backup center at all. It was just Carmichael Dave tweeted something about maybe bringing back Cousins for the reasons we noted, and Cousins being like, "Yeah, I would love to help Zach back to the playoffs." So I mean,
Exactly.
so that's it. That's why this conversation's here. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
nothing
That
in
is
the front
that's
office.
very important to say because it is just it's kind of just social media generated.
Exactly. But I mean, it brings up a fair point, though. Like we don't have a backup center. Cousins, he could provide a fill for that hole at the moment. But like
I
you said,
think it's the perfect. I think even better than that. My favorite thing to pivot to is like, wouldn't it be better if this team had Damian Jones, who's like hardly playing
dude,
for the Lakers?
I
Just
know,
like
man.
I'm like maybe
Ah,
just to call off the Lakers and be like, we'll give you
I know. Who could you
Holmes
even
for
give?
Jones. I don't know.
I doubt it. The
I don't
salary
think that
would
would.
not
Yeah,
work.
that wouldn't work money wise.
Could you
But
give a shoot? We don't have any shooters, do we?
you should have kept Merrill.
I do. That's what I was kind of thinking right now. Like, if you keep Merrill, just straight up Damian Jones.